to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Welcome to the show. I hope you are having a great day today. I am a life and business transformational success coach, and here today we have a wonderful human. Her name is Terri Yuzon. She is from Hemplily. Terri is the CEO and founder of Hemplily, a natural wellness supplement for women. Terri had fibromyalgia and refused to believe taking prescriptions for the rest of her life was the only answer. I can totally relate with that. One of the body's main job is to heal itself. Along her journey to restore her health, she discovered that cannabis was the answer for so many with chronic illness. Hemplily was created to share this knowledge with others, and she's going to share her knowledge today with us. And it provides natural alternatives for you to find mind and body balance. Great for sleep, pain, stress, anxiety, mood, digestion, hot flashes, God rest, night sweats, vertigo, and more. We are women owned out of North Carolina and want to help you get the relief you need to feel calm, balanced, and beautiful. And I love that your calm, balanced, and beautiful is your tagline. Welcome to the show, Terri.
Thank you, Lorianne. Happy to be here.
I'm so glad that you are. So, Terri, first, you went through something yourself, and from what you went through, this discovery allows you to share this with the rest of the world. And I applaud you for doing that. From great tragedy comes great opportunity, and you grasped it and went with it. Tell us a little bit about your before and the transition into your current.
Sure. So when I was young, we didn't really know anything about nutrition. We just ate anything and everything we wanted.
Sure.
And then I went to college. Usually college students are on a budget. We eat lots of ramen noodles, lots of pasta, anything that's cheap, pizza. And I continued those habits into my early 30s, but it was then that I started feeling not well, tired all the time, exhausted. I was in pain, especially after I ate. I was just purely exhausted, wanted to lay down after every meal, and I hurt all over and I couldn't figure out why. So I saw lots of doctors. And a lot of people can relate to this. You see a lot of doctors, they don't know what's wrong with you. You just hurt all over and you want an answer. So they eventually gave me the diagnosis of fibromyalgia, which at the time, not many people knew about. So that was interesting. And I started researching that. And I also got put on prescription medications. And I was on that for a few years and I wasn't feeling better. I wasn't feeling better at all. If anything, I was getting more side effects from medication. So I continued to research because I just didn't believe that this was a life sentence of being on prescriptions and that you can't overcome it. So I researched how to heal your body naturally, which was detoxing, getting rid of toxins in your life, eating better, getting rid of processed foods. I had to learn how to cook and cook organic foods. And I also found out about wheat being a primary cause of inflammation in the body. It's not our ancestors' wheat, it's genetically modified and sprayed with neurotoxins right before harvest. So, that's causing a lot of issues. But
for the wheat, our wheat, American wheat, to become drought resistant is 42 chromosomes. Real wheat our grandparents ate is 14 chromosomes. So Europe has 14 chromosome wheat. I discovered this when I went to Italy. I went to Italy, ate pasta every day, thought, okay, I know I'm on vacation, I'm going to gain weight, but I actually lost weight. And I didn't have that fatigued feeling. I didn't have that leaky gut feeling. I didn't feel lethargic afterwards. It was just a different feeling, and it just tasted better because of that. They only use 14 chromosome flour over in Europe, and they will not accept our Europe. Only third world countries will. And yet that's what they're feeding Americans. So, be very mindful of that. And obviously you discovered that. And it's funny, my track was very similar to yours. I had a different issue and I started researching and started getting rid of toxins in my life. And it makes a huge difference. So keep going on your story, because it's running in the same track that my life has gone on.
So you have to take control of your own health. And the more we find out about big pharma, et cetera, you realize you have to listen to yourself, and you know better in most cases than a doctor even. So I was on my journey to fix myself, but I also found out about cannabis as being one of the few things offering relief for fibromyalgia sufferers, and it can be quite immediate. So I was like, wow, that's great. I would love to try that. Oh, but you have to smoke it? I don't like smoking anything. I don't want to have to smoke it. And where do I get it? I was in corporate. I could be drug tested. I didn't know anybody in those circles. It was illegal. So I felt like it wasn't for me at the time.
Right.
But I was really excited about the future and it becoming accessible, legal for those who do want it.
Right.
So I continued to learn about nutrition and about prescriptions and what's going on in the world and big pharma's dominance over medicine and training medical doctors and such. And I just continued on in corporate. It wasn't until 2017 that I found out that hemp has a lot of the same medicinal benefits, but you don't get high.
Yeah, you don't have the THC.
THC.
Yes. That's it.
So that was at that time. Yes. So I was like, are you serious? I think I saw that at the grocery store. So I ran out and got a bottle of Nutiva hemp oil.
Sure.
People may have tried that before too. So I got it home, tried it, tastes horrible. It's very, very earthy, but it's hemp seed oil. And I didn't feel any benefits from it. That's because you're not going to, there's no medicine in the seeds of the hemp plant. So I kept researching, found out it's the adult hemp plant that gives you the medicine, specifically the bud. The bud has the most concentration of the cannabinoids in it. I reached out to a cannabis attorney and asked him questions and said, how can I help? How can I get into this, be legal, and start helping other people realize there is an alternative to feel better? So I launched Hemplily in 2017.
Beautiful. Congratulations. What a great story. Again, going from something that affected you, doing the research, finding something that resulted, and then take it that next step and diving in. Hemplily offers a bunch of different products, correct?
We do. We offer, the most popular is our edibles, gummies. They're tasty and fun and effective, but we have oils and topicals as well. We don't get into the smoking side under Hemplily. While it is the fastest and it has its benefits, it's not the healthiest. So we don't offer the smoking way. So that's what was exciting when I found out about hemp not only being medicinal, but you don't have to smoke it. So I was like, this is amazing. And I tried it and I started letting people around me try it and they couldn't believe it either. So things took off from there.
That's beautiful. And they can go to hemplily.com if you want to look at the products and see what might help you. One of the things I know that hemp products do help with trauma and PTSD. Help us understand, how can these products help that?
Yes, it can be a tremendous help. It starts with our endocannabinoid system. It's a fancy word. You can hear the word cannabis in it. Our endocannabinoid system, which all humans have, all mammals have, a lot of living things have an endocannabinoid systems, and our body actually produces a small amount of cannabinoids. So we've been deficient on those for 80 some years, whereas prior doctors had cannabis in every one of their bags because they knew it was so helpful. We were feeding hemp to our cattle, and we were getting it in many different ways to help keep our mind and body balance. So the plant, being phytocannabinoids, replenishes our endocannabinoid system when we're not making enough. And it starts at the highest level of our body system regulators. It's the umbrella over our endocrine system, which is hormones, our immune system, and everything that regulates us. So it seeks out what's out of balance and brings us into balance. It's called creating homeostasis. And in that process, it can do amazing things. It calms your mind. It calms, ruminating and overthinking things. It calms anxiety, stress. It relaxes you. It's really an amazing thing for balancing you out. And some people, very few people but they do often, not often, but they can get a whoosh feeling because it's so new to them and their body's going, where have you been all my life? And it creates a new normal. So it can help for PTSD. It just mellows out your mind from overreacting and hyper-focusing on things you don't need to. It can help with emotional states, breakups. If you're emotional over a breakup, if you like, a few weeks ago, I lost one of my dearest little pets, and I took some product and it helped tremendously. I really needed help just to get through grasping that she was gone a little bit more suddenly than we thought. So it helps with your mind and how you think about everything. So it's
And
really,
I'm
really great.
sorry for your loss. I understand, that's a great loss. Our pets, our fur friends are really family members. So I apologize and so sorry for your loss.
That's a small example compared to PTSD. I'm not comparing it with that. That's
totally
my most recent experience that was emotional.
Yes. Yeah. So totally understand that. So, and I know how hemp helps. And in my intro to you, I indicated that you do this, that Hemplily is for women, but I know it helps men as well. But let's just focus on women for a second. How does hemp help women specifically?
Oh, don't we just have more complex systems than men? So it
Yes.
seems like we have a lot more issues, but I mentioned that the endocannabinoid system helps regulate, the endocannabinoid helps regulate the endocrine system, and endocrine is our hormones. So we are focusing on kind of new revelation that hemp helps balance hormones. We know it's great topically for localized pain. So period pain, helping you through your crazy lady menstruation period, keeping you balanced throughout and keeping anger under control and irritability under control. Anytime your hormones are out of whack, short-term, long-term, the plant helps balance you. And it can be really quick too. It can be within your first serving if you know how much to take for you. It can be within minutes. So we say from menstruation to menopause and more. It's not that it helps only a certain group, it helps everyone, but we are trying to educate women that it helps for hormone imbalances. I'm 51, I'm perimenopausal. I know what it's like to have hot flashes and night sweats, but when I take my product consistently, they're very slim to none. Plus, over the last 5 years of having a storefront, my customers were coming in and the women were saying, Terri, I don't have hot flashes anymore. And my night sweats are gone when I'm taking your product. That wasn't a benefit that anybody really knew of at the time. So I went ahead and researched into that. And yeah, it makes sense. It's balancing cortisol spikes primarily. So anytime your cortisol is high or low, and that's what causes stress, anxiety, or hot flashes, or night sweats, it keeps your cortisol in balance. So we're trying to let women know that they have this great alternative. If you're considering or on HRT, hormone replacement therapy, this can be a great alternative or supplement to if you're not quite knocking out all your symptoms.
Yeah. The other thing with the balancing is it's real important to have that balance, because sometimes we feel like we're going out of our minds, and those hot flashes, man, those are beastly, just beastly. Have had them, and woof, they take over your life. You just break out into a sweat. Really funny story. I was working years ago at this other company. I was sitting in front of the CEO. I reported to him. We were having a conversation. He asked me a really deep question. And all of a sudden I was like wringing wet. And for me, internally, my mind was like, he's going to think I'm lying to him because I'm sweating like a sieve. And I just revealed to him, I was like, I'm just having a hot flash right now. I need to take my jacket off, if that's okay. And he was like, oh, yeah, fine. He was so immediately uncomfortable because I actually articulated I was having a hot flash. I had to take off my jacket because I was just buckets. And I felt like it looked worse than it actually was, but I felt like it looked like I was just dripping wet. And I wanted to let him know I'm being truthful. I just want you to know I'm having a hot flash. And it was just so funny. His reaction was in an uncomfortable place. With that said, I've tried CBD before. What makes yours different?
It's not extremely different from the others. I want to educate on full spectrum, the benefits of full spectrum, and keeping all of the plant compounds together as God and nature intended, instead of pulling it apart, finding something new and unique, scientifically processing it, things like that. We want to stick to as simple and potent and powerful of a plant as it can. And that usually means it does include a small amount of THC. But we focus our ingredients on things that help women. So like we have a roll-on that has essential oils in it that are already known to help period pain. So we combined a full spectrum hemp extract with some essential oils.
Beautiful marriage. And are these something that it's you have acute and you have emergency, right? So you're going to tone for over a long time. Can they take these products over a long period of time? Is it something that it's part of their supplement?
Absolutely. If you're taking it internally, yeah, we recommend you take it daily to keep a balanced mind and body, but you can take it just as needed. There's no right or wrong. You don't have to worry if you've skipped a dose. You don't have to worry if you've taken too much or too little, but you can use it as needed, like the period pain or any topical. For our products, it should give you pain relief and relief from discomfort, post-exercise, things like that, within 60 seconds or less. So we love to demonstrate that when we see people in person at our store, etc. We give them some to apply to their tender spots. And if it's not helping, we'll offer them something stronger. If they don't feel better in 60 seconds, we wouldn't even recommend it. So that's why we recommend it for period pain, localized pain and discomfort. But then people say, I love it. It works so amazing. Can I bathe in it? So you don't want to bathe in salve or put salve all over your body. So that's when you take an ingestible, either a gummy or some oil, and we help you pick the right product for you. Our most unique product, sorry, I'll get back to that, is our menopause complex. As a result of us finding out how wonderful it can be for symptoms, we took our basic full spectrum hemp extract and added ashwagandha and reishi mushroom, which are two adaptogens and nootropics we already knew were helpful to balance us when we're headed towards and through menopause. So synergistically putting those three together, it's really an amazing result, because CBD happens to increase the effectiveness of everything it's with. It increases the absorption. So you don't need much ashwagandha or reishi, but you put them all together for that triple synergistic punch.
Nice. And that's called the menopause complex?
Yes.
That amazing, totally amazing. You had mentioned something earlier I wanted to circle back to about how your products are made and, going with the full plan. Just a quick story. I'm a certified herbalist. So back in the day, we used to get sassafras, and then it got outlawed because they said it has a cancerous carcinogenic property. Sassafras is that root beer flavor that you get, right? So sassafras plants allows you to get that root beer, that natural root beer flavor. When you take apart a plant, they discovered, that's when they discovered the carcinogenic property in it. When the plant is all together, the way God, source, universe, however you refer to a higher power, when you just take the plant the way it's made, it all synergetically works together, so it isn't a carcinogenic. But because our modern technology takes it apart scientifically, each property is then analyzed, and then that's how they determine that was a very unsafe plant, where it is actually very safe when you keep it together. So I found it interesting that you had mentioned that about the hemp plant as well, is that keeping it together is an important element and component, because all of the pieces work together to make it what it is and allows its effectiveness. Would you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. So 5 years ago when we started, hemp meant you couldn't get high. It was all that medicine, but only trace amounts of THC, everything together, and it won't get you high. The times have changed. When the law was written, it wasn't overly explicit, but we do have intoxicating products now derived from hemp. So I just want people to be careful. Just because something is from hemp, we used to say, oh, it's hemp, you won't get high. Now you can get products from hemp that will get you intoxicated.
Do they have to label it? Do they have to label it that it's, this is?
Hopefully, yes, okay. They should. They should, absolutely. So
should is the operative word on that, is that we should make sure that, and your products are properly, are labeled so people understand. If they purchase, when they purchase on your site, is there a way for them to get guidance if they don't know what product to use?
Yes, we're highly consultation based, because it's not a very good product to just figure out on your own and just pluck off of a shelf. So we are here. You can email us at hello@Hemplily. You can reach out to us at 855-246-HEMP, or find us through our contact form at hemplily.com. But we have unlimited consultations before, during, and after your purchase. We want to make sure you get the right product for you. We're going to call you 2 weeks after you purchase and ask you how you're doing.
That was
Help
one of
you
my
adjust.
questions. Do you follow up? Do you check in
Yes,
with your
yes,
client?
because it's key. We can't just leave you on your own, because too many people will try too little or try it once and say it didn't work for me. So the when, where, and how often you take it is highly individualistic. You have to figure that out by adjusting your dose, taking it different times a day, things like that. So we're here to help you work through that. So we'll call you a bit after you've ordered it, see if you're getting the relief you need that you're hoping for. And if not, we'll help you adjust. I'll follow up after that. If you're like, no, I did what you suggested and just nothing's working, I just hit a refund button. We guarantee it. But the key is to call us and ask us for assistance if you're not finding the relief you need.
Yeah, I want to come back to dosing and how to determine that and if there are any side effects after the break. But you are listening to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back and continue our conversation with Terri, Hemplily.com, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. If you would like to be a guest or lift up your business or product or non-for-profit, or if you just have a question or comment, you know we'd love to hear from you. So email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. Today we have Terri on from Hemplily, hemplily.com. And Terri, we were talking about in the first half about utilizing the products and dosing and things like that. One of the questions I have, and one of the questions one of my guests just sent in to me was, are there side effects? What kind of side effects can you have from these products, if any?
Side effects are really minimum. And in most often cases, risk of side effects is even less than over-the-counter meds. So it really is a great and amazing plant. The biggest one that people notice is if they get too much too fast, it makes them groggy. It's like it's telling your body to rest while it repairs. It makes you sleepy. So it's beneficial for sleep. But keep in mind, you don't have to get to that groggy state of taking more than your body really needs to get the sleep benefit. So dosing is very individual, and side effects are very minimal. When it comes to medications, I'm not a doctor. I can't talk about anybody's specific medical situation. We know generally that it can lower blood pressure and thin your blood. So if you're on a blood pressure reducer or blood thinner, you'll want to talk to your doctor about that. A lot of people just take less of their medication when they let their doctor know, or adjust one or the other. You can also take them 2 hours apart if you're concerned about that, because again, hemp has that ability to increase the absorption and increase the effectiveness of everything it's taken with. Beyond that, that's really about it for the side effects. If you want to know more from a cannabis trained expert, like a cannabis nurse, we are members of leaf411.org. They vet us for transparency and quality, and we get a coupon code that we give people that call us, say, yeah, I would like to talk to a cannabis nurse, or maybe they're just talking to me in general when they're at the store and they say, hey, I have this question. We can't get into your medical situation, so we'll refer you over to leaf411.org, give you a code, and you can talk to a cannabis trained nurse for free.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. So, because like, how do your clients or how do your customers know what dosage is good for them? Is it a trial by error, or would it be best to get that kind of consultation?
Dosing wise, it's trial by error. So the average adult with mild symptoms usually finds relief somewhere between 15 and 20 milligrams, which is about one serving of our level 1 tincture, which is oil drops. So we usually start them with about that. And I'll ask them, are you sensitive to things? Usually any meds, if they say, yes, I'm very sensitive to things, I'll give them half that much, but I'll give them a free serving of that while they're at our store. And they'll be sitting there asking me questions and such, and they start noticing already, they start feeling better. Yeah. Some people might not feel anything, but what's neat about the plant is it's biphasic. Sometimes taking less is more effective. Sometimes taking more is more effective. Sometimes a higher amount might give you a little bit of anxiety. When we want to get rid of it, you have to decrease the dose. to get rid of anxiety.
But we're the best advocate. We know our body's the best. And so we know what the reaction is. So I never understood that with Western medicine. I obviously like Eastern. Eastern is a really good neighbor to Western. Western to me is when you have emergencies. Eastern is when you want to tone your body and take care of your body and your health. And to me, this falls into that Eastern type medicine because it's all natural and you could figure it out. You're gonna work with the dosing to make yourself get the effect that you want, correct?
That's correct. And people aren't used to that. They're used to a pill that says for your age or your weight, take this much, this often. It's not the same as that. So we're here to walk you through it. Just don't be afraid of it. I know there's still stigma out there and people are afraid. It's a very safe plant. You have to experiment with more or less and time of day and such and figure out what works for you.
Why does time of day matter? Just intrigued by that. You've said that a couple of times and I'm like, huh.
Sure. Like, do you like the relief you get by taking it at night? Do you like the relief you get when you take it in the morning? Do you want it primarily for stress and anxiety and focus throughout the day? Do you want it to help you sleep at night? Do you want to awaken with less pain and discomfort? So it's up to you. And some people say, well, I've found that it's good for me to take a half a dropper in the morning and a half a dropper at night. So everyone's unique like that. You just have to figure out when you like those benefits. Some people can take the product in the morning, feel great all day, and still sleep great at night. A lot of people like to take it just an hour before bed, and I recommend that for sleep. That's because in about an hour, you start feeling the effects of relaxation and being ready to sleep.
It's an interesting thing. I mean, our bodies are amazing. I've said that all the way through COVID and things like that. Our bodies can adapt. Our bodies fix things if we give it the right nutrients and the right support, right? So just an amazing machine. So beyond that, what I love about it is when you're taking something that makes you sleepy at night, but you take it during the day, it's really interesting that you will be more focused during the day because you don't have that anxiety and it's relaxing you in. So you think, oh my gosh, how can I take it during the day? It's going to make me sleepy. And actually it doesn't. What accounts for that?
Because it's creating mind and body balance. It's not a sedative. It's not giving you caffeine throughout the day. It's sedative at night. It's about mind and body balance. So for those who have the hamster wheel going when they lay down or when they wake up in the middle of the night and can't turn their mind off, it calms that.
Yeah, it is. I call it the factor. So that's really amazing. And you've been doing this how long? I know you said this before.
5 years.
5 years. And all of the products you formulated?
I have decided, yes, I've created them either to be similar to what other people offer or different. I tell our manufacturer that we've contracted for Hemplily. I let them know what we would like in our products.
And can you name some of the other products other than the menopause complex, which I'm really interested in, by the way? Other than that, what other products do you offer?
Our Sleep Plus gummies. They are a full spectrum gummy, and they're.
What does that mean, full spectrum?
What's that?
What does that mean, full spectrum gummy?
Full spectrum again means it's the whole plant. It's primarily CBD, but it does have other trace cannabinoids, including a trace amount of THC, but you won't get high from it.
Got it.
But it gives a nice relaxing effect. It's also great for anxiety and stress and mood. It's called our Sleep Plus gummy. We also have a sleep tincture. Our regular tinctures help a lot, help you get great solid sleep. But our sleep tincture, it's a purple bottle. We added more of the plant compounds that are known to give you that restful part of hemp. We concentrated them back in to give you extra powerful sleep support.
Yeah, and help our audience understand, because I make tinctures, so help them understand like what's in it. Do you make alcohol and non-alcohol tinctures?
Yeah, that's a great question. Tinctures generally mean, like an herbal formula and an alcohol base. In the cannabis industry, just kind of adopted that terminology, but they're never in an alcohol base that I've ever seen. It's usually in an oil base.
Oil base? Coconut
oil, hemp oil, olive oil. Ours is in an MCT coconut oil base, which helps mellow out the flavor and helps increase absorption.
Takes the bite away.
What's that?
It takes the herbal bite away.
It does.
Yeah.
Some brands can be really strong. Ours is mild tasting, but keep in mind, if you're going to go really, really strong, you really can't fight it. It's going to be a strong, potent flavor at the real strong strengths.
Can they add it to like tea or water or something like that to just?
Absolutely. Yep. You can add it to it. If it's an oil, it doesn't mix well, but yes, you can absolutely add it to anything. You can buy drinks. You can buy seltzers and drinks that have hemp in it as well. Just keep in mind that takes a little bit longer to kick in and feel the benefits because you're swallowing it and it has to go through your digestive system. You may lose a little bit strength of the product through digestion. If you want faster effects, the oil under the tongue. So then
bilingual, under the tongue.
Right. But our gummies are our most popular. People who know better know about the sublingual effects will chew it a little bit and then hold the gummy under their tongue.
Yeah.
So you get the speed and the higher absorption of holding it under your tongue, and then you swallow a little bit and it tends to stay in your body longer when you go through your digestion. So you're getting both.
Best of both worlds. Yeah. So making a tincture, you actually take the real product, you put it in a container, and then you cover it with oil or whatever, alcohol, and then you actually see the product extract from the plant. And when you take the plant out, it's almost white because it's taken all the green out, it's taken all the properties out. And that's the coolest thing about making tinctures or having a tincture is you are getting 100% property, and you don't add anything to your products, right? It's all plant-based.
It's all plant-based. There's natural flavor in some of our tinctures, natural food grade flavor like lemon or mint, but nothing artificial, natural flavors and colors.
Yeah, so you use essential oils as well with your products that you had
for the tincture flavoring. Yes.
Yeah. And the swiftness of the products giving relief. You had said if somebody's there and it's, a minute, they should have felt something, right?
Yep. The topicals are the fastest and easiest and just straightforward. You don't have to worry about what amount is right for me. You usually just start with a pea size amount, rub it on the spot that needs it. And some people feel it instantly. So if in a minute you don't feel the relief you need, even if somebody says, it feels a little bit better, I'm like, well, I want better than that. So here, either try a little bit more or try a stronger product. So topical is the fastest and easiest way. Smoking is the fastest way internally, but it's not the healthiest. Right. The next is the oil that you hold under your tongue. It's average 15 to 30 minutes. Some people, again, feel it almost upon swallowing.
Right. Well, under your tongue too, it's sublingual, so it goes right into your system. Right. Yeah. And how do I know which product would be right for me? You had mentioned there's a tincture, there are gummies. Like if I was looking at the Sleepy Plus, you had a sleep tincture. You also have the Sleepy Plus gummies. Which one is going to be right for me? Preference
on between those two. How fast do you want it to kick in? But do you like oil under your tongue? Some people don't like holding oil under their tongue. So we have the gummies, and gummies are just tasty and fun. So we give you that option.
Right.
So you really can start with just about any product we have, and you're going to get the stress relief, the lowered anxiousness, reduced discomfort. And then it's just kind of custom from there and up to your preference. And that's why we're like, if you're not sure, we don't want you to feel overwhelmed. You're not really going to get the wrong product. Just give us a call and we'll see which one we think is best for you.
That's amazing. Just amazing. What's your why? Why do you do what you do?
I know what it's like to be chronically ill and not having any answers. So I'm here to help people with my story. Aside from hemp, I want to tell people too about the things I've tried and just help people live more natural lives and more fulfilled lives on natural food and natural products.
Beautiful, beautiful. I got rid of all the toxins in my house, and I moved over to this one all natural product. And in the end, it's less expensive because I get the upfront cost, and the cost of taking care of yourself and through is a lot less expensive than going to the emergency room and having all these bad feelings, and also not being able to function and enjoy life and find the joy in life, right? So I always look at that differential. And also when you're dealing with natural products, you're getting 100% of the products. You're not getting a bottle of water with some product in it. You're getting 100%. So I love that you have this quality control in place, that this is your business and you've gotten behind it, and you're spreading the love. You're trying to share the information. And I really appreciate you being on to share that information, and your why is just amazing. Do you have partners? Do you have other stores? Is this one store and a website? Tell us more about that.
Just one store and a website for 5 years. Yes.
Beautiful. What's your vision in the future?
Vision in the future is just to increase knowledge about how it helps hormones, get into more wellness centers, possibly those that offer HRT, and just get it in more people's hands, and hopefully bring on some regulation that's beneficial and not hindering for the industry.
If someone wants to reach out to you, get more information, where do they go?
Hemplily.com.
And any other?
And if you decide you would like to try something, we're going to give you 25% off your first order with coupon code SMART25.
SMART25, and you can see that below if you are looking at any of these casts online. The information will be below, and of course it'll be on our social media, so you can grab that if you forget. But one more time, what's the code?
SMART25.
SMART25. Love it. Love it. If you had to give any piece of advice that you've learned over time in your journey, what would that piece of advice be to our listeners?
Trust yourself. Listen to yourself within, and your body speaks to you, and trust yourself.
Yeah, that you're your best advocate, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I went, I had colitis years ago, and I couldn't find, I went to 17 doctors. When I was going to the 17th doctor, I had made a commitment to myself. This is the last doctor, but I had already started doing research into herbs. That's how I got certified in herbs by Rosemary Gladstar Slick, now only known as Rosemary Gladstar again. She wrote many books, and I got trained by her because she inspired me, and I was able to at least soothe what I had, but I didn't have a name for it. So that was the hardest thing for me. The 17th doctor, when I walked in, went, "Oh, I know exactly what you have." And he was like, "You have colitis." I was like, "What is that?" But he identified it from the symptoms right away. But 16 other doctors had no idea. So similar to you, it wasn't a well-known thing. I went to my own resources, and that goes back into the trust, into knowing and being an advocate for yourself and saying no. For me, I'm not a pharma girl. I don't really want to take pharma. I don't like the side effects sometimes, or most of the times, are worse than the actual event that you're going through or challenge that you're going through. So being able to empower yourself and have people like you out there enabling us, educating us on what works, what doesn't work, how it works, and finding and discovering new things through your clients. I love that some of your clients come back, your customers come back and say, "Hey, this is helping me do this." And you're like, okay. Are you doing any kind of documentation? Do you have any books in your future potentially to share?
No books, but we do have a blog with a lot of education on it. A lot of education. And I'm not saying that the cannabis is a panacea, but it is a tool for you to use.
Sure.
And, doctors, like, they diagnosed you finally with colitis. You felt good that you had a term for it. It just means you have an inflamed colon, right?
Yes. Yep.
It doesn't tell you why. Try asking your doctor why. When they tell you have symptoms, they don't know. They're not trying to get to the root of it.
Right.
So cannabis isn't necessarily going to heal you, but it definitely will help with symptoms with very low risk. It can be really fast as well. So it's a good product to have in your back pocket.
And it's toning. It's good for your body. Using natural products is good for your body because your body adjusts and takes what it needs. That's why there's dosing differences, because some of us don't need as much. I don't take medicines. So when I take medicines, I have to take a lower dose, even what's suggested, because I know I'm going to react almost immediately. So it's a really interesting thing. So you need to know yourself, you need to know your body, and you are your best advocate. I really appreciate you being on today. Just so full of information. I love that you have the blog. Go to hemplily.com, learn more about it, reach out. Terri will really support you. And I love that you go through the journey with them. You don't leave them to their own tactics and things like that. You really support your patients / clients. They're not really patients, but they're clients. And then you have the opportunity to really get professional free medical advice for each person's own personal situation. I always worry about contraindication with Western medicine. And I know that's not your area of expertise, but you do recommend that they go to their doctors, let them know that
always.
Yeah,
always, yes.
They're adding to it. So, and you have some, as you had indicated earlier, you have some cases where it actually helped lower people's blood pressure. Other things that you've seen through your case studies?
Reduces nausea, helps a lot of the symptoms of cancer. We're not saying it diagnoses or treats cancer, but it sure can soothe a lot of the symptoms of it. Vertigo. I had a customer come up to me and say, if this thing can help my vertigo, I'll be a lifetime customer. I said, here, just try it first. Just here, have a serving and go walk around and see how you feel. She came back minutes later saying it was gone. So everyone's different where it's going to go and focus. It's not this will work for you, but we let you try it. There's a lot of things we're pretty sure it's going to help. And we're still learning every day about new things that it can help. Like only 2 years ago, I learned that it was helping balance hormones.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you're going through that educational process. So yeah, we definitely reach out to Terri. Wealth of knowledge. Really appreciate you being on the show, Terri. Thank you again for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I hope we earned the privilege of your time. Again, I want to thank our guest today, Terri Yuzon. And if you're looking for a business coach, accountability, strategy, direction, a sounding board, someone to help streamline your business, or you're having a problem taking action, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help in any way. You can call us at 516-983-3591. Thank you again for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle. Look for our show next Saturday. Until then, I am Lorianne Casdia. Play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big. Bye. Have a great day.